I don't care what anybody says about Apollo 18. I went in to see this film even though like a lot of people just called it average, called it really bad, and only a handful of people calling it good, but I really don't care what other people say. This is what I thought about the film. I found it to be pretty damn scary. I literally just got back from seeing the film, and it was one of the most well, to be honest, I don't watch many horror films and I haven't seen any of the Paranormal Activity films, but I was just pretty damn scared of this film, and I know that a lot of people just don't like jump scares. Well, I don't care what people say. I don't like jump scares, not because they're annoying, but mostly because sometimes they do get a pretty big jump out of me. And it was really dreaded. It was a pretty dreadful film to sit through just at like 10 o'clock. And I'm not saying it's bad. To be honest, I found it to be a really good film. It's just not ideal. Just first viewing, I found it to be just really hard to get through because, well, I'm a bit of a pussy. But I don't care what other people say. Here I go. Well, first thing I gotta say is like, the idea was good. I really did like the idea that it was a horror film set on the moon, and there's only two men on there, something's on there, and it's trying to kill them, and it's slowly driving one of them insane, I don't know. But anyway, I'm not going to give much spoilers, but but what I might say might give away a few things. First thing is like, well, the film does have quite a bit of a odd error in a few things, like, how do I say this without revealing anything? Oh, never mind. I'll reveal it anyway. They keep saying like, this film was like a found footage film, like they didn't tamper with it, they only edited it slightly just so it could be easier for us apparently stupid humans to know what's going on. And then there's like, they have like parts where it's like half of it's from recordings that could be transmitted to Houston or something. Then they have like these 12 millimeter, I think, like recorders, and then like handheld cameras. And what really confuses me, like at the end of the film, you're kind of confused. If that happens, then how have they managed to get the footage from those cameras? Even though it's clearly impossible to get cameras like that, to get footage like that after what just happened. And that's a pretty big error, but it's a film and it's supposed to be like a bit of a suspension of disbelief. We know it didn't happen, but I guess it's like their way of trying to make it a bit cheesy. Like, you don't need explanation, it's just made for scary fun. And I admit, yeah, that's kind of it. I didn't really expect much from a film called Apollo 18. I just kept thinking, how are they going to get the footage back? And then it just clarifies, they don't care how they got it back, they just say, they'll break their own rules, and clearly, I don't care. And neither did they, but then again, I'm not going to argue much because it's a horror film and I sometimes just don't bother. And one other thing I found a bit odd is like, it's September, only 4 days till October. Why didn't you just release it on October? It would seem a bit more appropriate. To be honest, I think it might have been just so that they could review this. To be honest, I think maybe the director just wanted to see some internet reviews of some critiques trying to review this on October. And I'm reviewing this on 27th of September. It just came out where I am. And I suppose I'll be uploading this sometime in October, because I've got something planned out for October. But anyway, another thing I found a bit weird is like the aliens themselves. I honestly did not see that coming. I mean, everyone is really thinking like, oh my god, maybe it's like the guy's gone insane or something. Or maybe it's something that's been watching us every time we landed on the moon and it took this opportunity. No, it's none of that. Instead, it's actually possible. It's such a curveball that you won't see it coming unless you wouldn't have been able to tell by the trailers, but they give it away pretty easily. And yeah, the aliens themselves are kind of stupid, but basically what they are parasites, and that's giving away a bit, but not the big surprise. Actually, what am I saying? It's not that big of a surprise. I mean, yeah, you're not really gonna be shocked like, oh my god, how did I not know that? You're gonna be like, that's it? It's a bit stupid. I spent $50 for this? Yeah, where I live, a film ticket costs $50, but screw that. Find out where I live yourself. But anyway, what it is like the aliens aren't much of a surprise, or just about how kind of silly it is. Really, by this point, I couldn't care less. What else? Well, here's a positive I have for the film. It was some people might disagree, but I thought the tension was pretty high. I mean, yeah, it sometimes relied on like jump scares, and some of it had pretty good tension because, well, here's the thing. There is nothing more scary in the world than space. There is nothing more scary. There is nothing scarier than space itself, because in itself, it is completely alien to us. We don't know why, we don't know the meaning of it. We don't know why there is space, we don't know why there's no air, we don't know why there's no gravity. What do we know about space? What do we know about space other than, no, we are probably the only people out in space. There's no air in it, there's no gravity, but other than that, we know nothing about it. And that's the scariest thing. We are completely oblivious of what is out there. And that is what makes space horror films the scariest thing. And I thought like maybe the idea of like two astronauts stuck on an unofficial like space program, and why we never went back to the moon. And the moon itself can be pretty scary. Like some people say, yeah, the moon is an adventure. But then you kind of realize the government keeps secrets from everybody. So is there something on the moon that they're keeping from us? No one knows. And yeah, we know the film is a fad, and pretty much. And I heard about this. I heard like their way of saying is like they recovered the footage from. The footage was recovered and edited by a website called lunatruth.com. I haven't seen the website itself, but I heard about it I heard about it before I went to see it, and I just went into the film open-minded, not caring about what other people were saying. Yeah, this review, I just realized this review is going a bit everywhere, but that's because I just got back, I haven't written it down, and this is honestly my impression. It's a very atmospheric film, there's not much sound, and it tends to be a bit creepy. That's my way of seeing it. But there's one problem. The first half of the film is really, really tense and scary because there are so many mysteries surrounding what's going on with them, but when we get to the second half, where like everything is starting to conclude, answers aren't answered, and then plot holes, pretty big ones, start appearing. And my question is, why have they been sent there? And my guess is like, well, basically like, there's like the US government have, they're starting to like find there's some mystery about the moon, and there's something on it that they've been taking, well, they've taken moon rocks. Okay, I'm gonna just spoil it. If you don't want to hear it, then skip ahead a few seconds. The aliens are the moon rocks.